Imagine this. You are playing on the absolute biggest stage in global sports. It's the 93rd minute of a completely deadlock World Cup match.
Oh, the tension in those moments is just unbearable.
Right. I mean, your lungs are burning, your legs feel like lead, and then suddenly the ball just falls right to you inside the box. You strike it, it hits the back of the net.
Pure delirium.
Pure delirium. You rip your shirt off, you're sliding on your knees. A teammate actually hands you a pair of sunglasses right there on the pitch.
I still can't believe that happened.
Yeah, and a staff member literally collapses on grass in sheer joy because you just sent your country to the knockout rounds.
Yeah.
And then...
Where referee touches his earpiece.
Exactly. The Polish official draws that dreaded rectangle in the air. VAR review. Offside. The goal is completely wiped out.
And the sunglasses come off.
The sunglasses come off, and your heart just drops straight into your stomach.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we are dissecting a match that had, well, absolutely everything.
It really did. The dramatic 1-1 draw between Egypt and Iran at the 2026 World Cup in Seattle. Group G.
A truly wild match.
To figure out how a single 100-minute football match became this, intense crucible of geopolitical tension, new tournament rules, and just staggering on-pitch drama, we've cross-referenced a massive stack of materials.
Yeah, we've pulled together match reports from The Guardian, WKMG, Sports Dunya,
and referee analyses from Voice of Emirates, broadcaster details from Athlon Sports, profile pieces from Hooligan Soccer.
Political reporting from the Economic Times.
Right, and extensive tournament context from Luke's English podcast. Our mission today is to unpack all of this. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
But before we dive into the tactics in the football, we have to establish the reality these players were living in. Now, I need to be incredibly clear right up front here.
Yeah, this is important.
The sources we are looking at contain a lot of politically charged content. We're talking about the U.S. and Israel armed conflict with Iran, travel bans, and controversies surrounding LGBTQ+ pride events.
Very heavy stuff.
Very heavy. And we, as hosts, are not taking sides on any of these issues. We are not endorsing any specific political viewpoints. We are impartially reporting the facts and the ideas exactly as they exist in the provided source material, strictly to understand the context of this match.
Because, honestly, without that context, the actual football makes zero sense.
Exactly. You can't separate the 90 minutes on the grass from the 90 days leading up to it.
No.
So let's look at the sheer weight of the world on the Iranian squad before the whistle even blew.
It was an administrative nightmare.
Total nightmare. Think about preparing for the biggest athletic test of your life. Every detail is meticulously planned, right? And then, because of the ongoing armed conflict involving the U.S. and Israel, Iran's entire base camp operations are abruptly relocated.
From Arizona to Tijuana, Mexico.
Right. Just 2 weeks before the tournament kicks off.
I mean, in modern international football, a base camp is this highly engineered sanctuary. Sports science programs spend literally years mapping out circadian rhythms.
Wow,
Oh, yeah. Altitude acclimatization, exact dietary sourcing, recovery protocols tailored to a specific facility. So suddenly, uprooting an entire national team operation across an international border at the 11th hour.
It just obliterates all that preparation.
Completely. You are scrambling for basic training resources when you should be fine-tuning your tactical cohesion.
And the disruption, it didn't even stop at the border. You have 17 of Iran's 26 players who play domestically back home.
Right.
Because of the conflict, they arrived at the tournament without any recent competitive football under their belts. Match fitness isn't something you can just, simulate in a training drill in Tijuana.
No, absolutely not.
Combine that with team staff getting their visas revoked, and the U.S. imposing a new visa policy requiring a $15,000 bond for quote-unquote high-risk visitors.
Yeah, and the Iranian fan ticket allocations were entirely canceled just days before the match.
Which is just crazy. A World Cup is supposed to be a massive celebration of national identity, right?
Exactly. The psychological toll of that specific detail cannot be overstated. Walking into Lumen Field meant stepping into this sterile, almost hostile vacuum.
They're carrying the expectations of millions back home, but they look up into the stands and see absolutely no one wearing their colors.
The administrative anxiety completely isolates the squad.
And layered right on top of that international geopolitical stress is local friction in Seattle.
Right, the Pride match.
Yeah, this game coincided with local LGBTQ+ pride celebrations, and it was heavily promoted locally as a pride match. Now, both Egypt and Iran have highly repressive records on LGBTQ+ rights, and both countries formally asked for the Pride game to be canceled.
Which FIFA denied. They treated the rainbow flags inside the stadium as a statement of human rights.
Which sets up this fascinating collision of values on a global broadcast. The players are suddenly thrust into the middle of a cultural flashpoint.
And when the press conferences happened, you could feel it. The tension was just visceral. The international media naturally wanted to ask about the Pride context.
But the teams essentially built a fortress around themselves. They shut it down entirely.
Yeah. Iran's coach Amir Galanoy and Egypt's Hassam Hassan both adamantly insisted they were only there to talk about football.
Team staffers literally stepped in to physically block non-football questions. I mean, it's like trying to prepare for the biggest final exam of your life. But the school keeps moving the exam room across international borders.
That's a great way to put it.
And people are demanding you answer for major international political crises while you're just trying to read your notes.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, does extreme adversity like this actually galvanize a team, or does it completely drain their legs before they even step on the pitch?
Well, what's fascinating here is how that adversity triggered a profound hyperfocus. Galanoy actually publicly praised FIFA president Gianni Infantino.
Wait, really? Given all the chaos?
Yeah, he praised him for minimizing the challenges so his team could just play. Despite all the noise, both teams managed to hyper-focus. For those 100 minutes, the pitch became the only thing they could control. They channeled all that geopolitical and logistical noise into frantic, explosive energy.
And that explosive energy completely detonated the start of the match. All that pre-match pressure cooker stress. It didn't result in a cautious, cagey affair.
Not at all.
It exploded into one of the most breathless, frantic opening 15 minutes we've seen in the entire 2026 tournament.
It was high-quality chaos. Neither team wanted to absorb pressure.
Nope, they both wanted to dictate the terms immediately. 5 minutes in, the dam breaks.
Yeah.
Egypt strikes first.
Yeah. Mohamed Salah provides that brilliant hold-up play in the box.
Drawing defenders, right. And then Mahmoud Saber fires a shot that goes right through the legs of the Iranian goalkeeper Alireza Behrenvand. A nutmeg goal in the 5th minute.
For a goalkeeper of Behrenvand's vast experience, getting beaten through the legs that early,
It's humiliating.
it's a massive psychological blow. It immediately tests the mental resilience we were just talking about. Iran is already playing in a vacuum, and now they are down a goal before they've even settled into a rhythm.
But the game barely had time to breathe. Minute 11, just 6 minutes later, the Polish referee, Szymon Marciniak, points straight to the spot. Penalty for Iran.
And Marciniak is no joke. He handled the 2022 World Cup final.
Exactly. Egypt's Mohamed Abdelmonem makes this incredibly clumsy challenge on Mehdi Taremi in the box. Taremi steps up to take it. He strikes it.
And Egypt's goalkeeper, Mostafa Choubert, makes a brilliant, sprawling diving save.
Just incredible.
Missing a penalty in a group stage decider is a monumental event. Statistically and psychologically, seeing your captain denied like that, it should have completely broken Iran's spirit.
Only it didn't sink them at all. Because at minute 14, barely 3 minutes after the penalty miss, Milad Mohammadi fires a shot. Choubert saves it, but spills the rebound.
And Reen Razayan is right there.
Yes, he absolutely hammers it into the roof of the net.
Yeah.
1-1. We have a goal, a save penalty, and an equalizer all packed into a frantic 15-minute window.
That sequence didn't just test the players. It forced the referee to take absolute control.
Which, I mean, let's talk about the refs for a second. The 2026 rules have expanded VAR and aggressive new anti-time wasting rules.
Right, the 5-second countdown for throw-ins.
Yeah. With all these new rules designed to micromanage the game's flow, is it making the referees' jobs impossible in these high-stakes moments?
Well, keeping a lid on a game moving at that velocity requires incredible situational awareness. But Marciniak showed a strong personality.
He didn't let the new rules suffocate the game.
Exactly. He ignored the controversy to keep the game flowing. His firm grip prevented that frantic start from devolving into chaos. And that's why the penalty was statistically the turning point of the half.
Right, because after that chaotic opening, the aggression settled into a fascinating tactical stalemate in the middle section of the game.
Yeah, the score stayed 1-1.
But if you look at the underlying data, the expected goals, or XG, for the first half told a different story. Iran at 1.18 versus Egypt at an anemic 0.31.
Expected goals is so telling here. A ratio like that suggests Iran was completely dominating. They were constantly getting into dangerous areas.
But they couldn't convert that dominance into a winning goal. Taremi, carrying the weight of his nation, really struggled to find that clinical edge.
And a massive reason for that was Egypt's defensive response. specifically Mohamed Hani.
Oh man, Hani was unbelievable. He earned an 8.1 out of 10 rating. They called it a defensive masterclass.
It truly was. He used intelligent positioning to shut down Iran's wingbacks and organized Egypt's entire backline.
So here's where it gets really interesting. We look at that XG stat and say Iran dominated. But does statistical dominance actually matter in tournament football? Or is it purely about who can survive the emotional exhaustion of 100 minutes of play?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, survival is the name of the game in this new 48-team tournament expansion.
Advancing is just harder now.
Right. The quote-unquote middle class of football, like Egypt and Iran, they're no longer underdogs. They are legitimate threats fighting desperately for the round of 32.
So grinding out a draw against a technically superior team is exactly how a team like Egypt survives the group stage.
Precisely. They absorb the pressure and just survive.
But surviving barely does justice to the end of this match, because those final moments were just a heartbreaking, chaotic roller coaster. Let's jump to the 89th minute.
The tension was palpable.
The score is still 1-1. Taremi gets free, connects with a header, and it cannons flush off the woodwork. The post saves Egypt.
The margins in international football are just microscopic.
And that sets the stage for the 93rd minute.
Mm-hmm.
Pure delirium. The ball falls to Shoja Khalilzadeh. A 37-year-old veteran, he hammers it home.
He whips his shirt off.
Yes, he's buried in a pylon. A backroom staffer collapses in joy, and a substitute puts sunglasses on Khalilzadeh's face.
It's the peak human experience of sports, a release of a pressure valve that had been building for months.
But then, the VAR review. Referee Marciniak reviews the play, offside. The goal is wiped out. Coach Garaway just slumps in his dugout.
It's just devastating. It highlights the absolute cruelty of VAR.
Yeah.
VAR demands objective perfection in a sport that is entirely fueled by subjective passion.
It makes you wonder, what stands out to you listening to this? Is it the joy of the celebration or the cold reality of the review?
It's a tough pill to swallow.
And the match didn't even end there. Because of the delays, it went over 100 minutes.
The exhaustion at that point.
It's insane. Yasser Ibrahim makes a monumental block on Rezaian. And then, at 96.53, Saeed Ezzatullahi hits the crossbar.
Twice. Iran hit the woodwork twice in the dying moments.
But the final whistle finally blows. 1-1 draw. Now let's look at the tournament aftermath. Over in Vancouver, Belgium thrashed New Zealand 5-1.
Right.
Which means Egypt finishes second in Group G and advances to play Australia.
And Iran is left in total limbo. They have to sit and wait, hoping for favorable results from Croatia, Algeria, and DR Congo just to advance as a third-place team.
After all that is completely out of their hands.
Yep.
So what does this all mean? Why does this deep dive matter? I think it's a masterclass in resilience.
Yep.
Whether you are dealing with your own logistical nightmares or facing intense pressure at work, there is a lesson in how these players tuned out the geopolitical noise.
They tuned out the chaotic new rules, too.
Yeah, and just left everything on the field.
This raises an important question, though.
What's that?
We just saw how off-pitch geopolitics, like visa bonds and sudden relocations, directly impact a team's physical and mental state.
Right.
As the World Cup expands and global politics become increasingly intertwined with sports logistics, we have to ask ourselves, is a truly level playing field in global sports even possible anymore?
Oh, wow.
Or is the winner simply the team that survives the off-pitch circus best?
That is a phenomenal final thought to mull over. The game really is changing. Thank you all for joining us on this deep dive. Keep digging into your sources, stay curious, and we'll catch you next time.